Welcome.
Hello. I'm passing this mic around.
I know. Yeah. Now,
perfect.
now we're all set.
Right?
Yes. Welcome. We are so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For folks who don't know you, your music is amazing. You have such a powerful voice. You can play an instrument and you can do the looping. You explain music for your folks. It just.
Without over-explaining, I've forced myself to describe it as just like a one-woman wall of sound. Yeah. I call it like a Midwest Coast rock project, or more or less just like a Midwest Coast project where it's like heavy, but there's something really laid back about it as well. And I love that, like, Midwest Coast, like, there is something about being on the water in the middle of the continent and, like, still having that, like, influence. I don't know, whatever, yeah.
Well, it's interesting, and I think I didn't realize the influence of that. And for me, that water is the Mississippi, because that's what I live nearby. Yeah. But, of course, there are many lakes here as well. Yeah. And I didn't understand until I lived by a coast. We're like, oh, yeah. That water is comforting in a different weird way.
Yeah, it becomes this like part of the backdrop of your life. I grew up in Green Bay, so it's like literally on the mouth of the Fox River and Lake Michigan, and would go up to Door County often. And that was like before I ever went to California. I didn't realize I was embracing California vibes up in Door County at house parties, on the beach, bonfires, and like just, experiencing that lifestyle and culture, and then moving to California being like, oh, it's the water that's doing it.
It is, yeah. You've lived a bunch of different places. So tell us a little bit about the travels too, and kind of and what you learn in each of these different. And were you playing music when you were in Green Bay?
I was mostly just guitar. I wasn't really like writing music at that time. I would like write riffs, but the idea of like writing lyrics of a whole song at that point in my life was like too much. But I loved playing guitar. I was actually born in Minnesota. I was born in St. Louis Park. I think that's like St. Mary's or whatever. Yeah, whatever. And was born in the metro area. And then I think I started my 4th grade in Wisconsin. Was there until I was 25.
Oh, wow.
Moved to California. Was in Bakersfield for 4 years. And then I went to LA for a year for a job. Overworked, underpaid, awesome experiences. Don't recommend, kind of recommend, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then moved here in 2020. February of 2020.
Good timing.
And yeah, it was actually great timing because dealing with that in LA would have sucked, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
And my job was like event music industry, so they were making promises that they wouldn't have been able to cash, unforeseen.
Oh, like my gosh, having to deal with that fallout.
They were trying to keep me there, and they would have been like, oh, we'll do this, and COVID ripped that all apart for them anyway. So it was like kind of a good
absolutely.
Move. Yeah. Pulled my parachute. I'm going home, and actually it's been great. I was gonna say fudge.
I heard fudge.
I love fudge.
Sure.
No, I love the Twin Cities. Being here ever since then was awesome. I didn't start doing music here until basically 2022 was when I started performing live, and I was kind of preparing for that in 2021, and that's just what I've been doing ever since. Honestly, yeah.
And you've done such an amazing job. But for folks who are like, how did you start seeping into the music scene?
Yeah.
Especially starting in 2020, but, even 2022.
There's always, like, a dramatic story behind it or something. It was not just like, oh, I feel like doing music, I'm going to do it. I was, like, working at the local Tesla stores in Minnesota. Went through some stuff there. Took a position... Felt like I was kind of set up to fail, super stressful, took a step back, and I had some money saved up, and I'm like, what am I doing investing all of me into this company that doesn't value me the same way that I value it? And decided I got a rehearsal studio. I bought my equipment. I put myself in that studio and like started writing music, and this is the result of that, quite honestly.
Good job.
Yeah.
Great investment.
It was like very much like, this is just my hobby. And then that happened, and I'm like, not anymore. This is now like, I'm committing myself as an artist and whatever that means lifestyle wise. That's comes with the territory.
I love how purposeful that is.
Yeah. Let's say it was very intentional and like I had everything clearly laid out.
Yeah. I mean, there had been some white knuckle moments where you're like, what was I?
All of it was, yeah. All of it was. But I had a lot of support, and I, started taking every show I could and like met like lifelong friends, like more close friends here than I have in, Wisconsin or California, to be honest. And yeah, this community I'm humbled to be a part of this community, quite honestly. It's great.
Look, you play music, but you also work in a number of different venues, and you do an amazing job with sound as well.
Thank you.
I mean, you are consummate professional.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I was a recording engineer in Bakersfield for 4 years, so that was like my first professional step into audio. I interned for a year, and then he hired me on. I was his assistant engineer at that location. I took a job in LA. It was a rehearsal studio for like commercial. And then we were doing some film stuff too. Like Fender Play did all their like videos in there. So I got to hang out with some of those guys. And that was a great experience. Coming here, I started performing. I met Tom Sherman. Shout out Tom Sherman.
Nice.
And his crew of like awesome, like mostly femme or queer women engineers. And started asking for some shifts. I'm like, I kind of want to get back into it. And I started doing some like smaller stuff. And, again, like life took a turn and I was like, what am I doing with my life? And there were some opportunities opening up with that. So I went full time. So now it's doing sound full time at, Palmer's now, Memory Lanes, Mortimer's, and Hook and Ladder. And that's grown into something else as well. Now having to step up as like a production lead at Hook and Ladder. Shout out Kara, who was there before, and all that good stuff. Kara's my hero. And yeah, so it's been kind of like a wild ride that I get to be so a part of all these different subgroups in the cities and to be friends with all like the DJ crews and the punk scene and the hip hop scene and kind of getting to know everybody. And it's been awesome. I love it. I love supporting other people's art as much as I love supporting my own. It's truly a passion. Yeah.
Well, and I just think the things that you must learn, my only comparison would be when I waited tables, I always made sure I knew the cooks and the chefs as well.
Oh yeah,
because you learn so much.
Absolutely.
And I mean, are there things that you've done differently with your music, having done more of the local live production stuff?
I don't know if there's been a direct correlation with like stepping in locally here, but I will say my project overall was a marriage between I have this technical passion and I have this artistic passion, and I want to put them together and kind of make it look like a magic trick on stage for people who are not very musical. It seems like there's just so much happening at once, and I've made it so it's pretty streamlined on my side with enough rehearsal, but it just looks like there's a lot going on, and that performance is like the passion for me. Like the performance experience is why I do any of it, to be honest.
I think one of the first times I saw you was at the White Squirrel. More than a year. A couple of years. I love the White Squirrel too. And I was like, oh yeah, I think she was with the whole band. And later I'm like, unless you did a couple times there, but I was like,
I haven't.
Isn't that? So, I mean, that's my memory of because the experience is like seeing a whole band.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing.
It was a little intimidating to come up with this idea of like, oh, there's tracks. That's not very visceral, whatever. But once I found like those sounds that work, I've basically just admitted to myself that I'm an electronic project disguised as a rock project. At least like my earlier stuff is. I probably have more electronic influence than I do rock. So having those samples be loud and full and hit the same every single time, I've just owned that, like, that's my sound. It just is what it is, Yeah, who am I to, like, take away from what's working? And I've jammed with some very cool people and very talented people, and it sounds cool, but it never sounds, like, bigger than how I do it.
Right.
On my own. So it is what it is, yeah.
This just sounds like time that maybe we should segue to hearing a song.
Yeah, we can do that. I did just put out a single, June 20th. It'd be cool to feature that one first. Really quickly, it's part of a Deftones tribute album.
Thank you.
The album is called For the Song You Saved, and you can get it forthesongyouSaved.bandcamp.com. It's $15. There's 23 tracks. Half of them are from the Twin Cities. It all goes to Oasis for Youth, which is a local nonprofit for like at-risk, unhoused youth, getting them jobs, getting them some stability in their life. And it's super special to be a part of it.
I can see that we have a technical. I thought I had.
That's my spiel. I chose Cherry Waves. It's from an album called Saturday Night Wrist from Deftones, and I don't know. Apparently, people have mixed feelings about that album. I absolutely love that record. And when it came out, I actually didn't know Deftones very well. I saw them in Somerset at the amphitheater.
Oh, sure.
And it was just this like big wall of sound, and it blew me away. And then I listened to that album, and that song is tied to like many of my memories at that time. So it was cathartic, like truly therapeutic for me to like get back into that song and know it intimately and do something with it. And
now I'm just jealous. I'm like, that would be fun to be able to experience music that way.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to experience by listening.
That's a great way too.
Yes, it sure is. Yes.
Very effective.
We've got Cherry Wave by M.A.Y. off the Deftone album.
Tribute record.
Tribute record, yeah. Yes. Here we go. Sorry, I could have let you know that was...
No, it's I just don't know Deftones, so I didn't know that was Deftones.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, no worries.
Now's your time to swear. Because this is on the radio.
I stopped myself.
No, you wouldn't be the first. I mean, we try to not do that, but you wouldn't be the... Yeah.
The only thing that's still going is the live stream.
The live stream, and that's right. Where you can say whatever.
Fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of my system.
That was like a Bart Simpson move right there. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I like this one.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, the original is incredible. But yeah, the lyrics were just like awesome. I didn't realize, maybe I should say this on the air. It's like,
yeah, you can say
ended up writing my own breakup song, like summer breakup song. I was just like doing the lyrics by the numbers and telling the story, and then like had a breakup, and then I'm re-listening to it, and I'm like, fuck, like this is literally my breakup song. Music is
you
weird.
Need a winning the lottery song.
Right, where's that one?
Right? Yeah, no kidding. Can I just have a premonition song for something better?
Yeah.
No, maybe that was my lottery song.
You know what? Sometimes, yeah. That could be.
Yeah. Yeah, they're coming August 29th, and I bought like VIP tickets. And, like, spoiled myself.
Nice.
Just like straight up was like, I'm gonna go celebrate everything, all of it, music, the Twin Cities, my own self, like music, the song, this like cover, the tribute album. Like I'm buying the best ticket I can.
Awesome.
Thanks, Klarna. 6 payments.
Yep, there you go.
Justified.
That's awesome. Yeah, you should. I mean,
yeah. I'm gonna go get cute and sweaty at a rock concert. It'll be fun.
That's always fun.
And then I'll have like concert depression afterwards. You know.
Yeah.
The moment will
Martin,
pass.
yeah.
And then I'll be sad for a week.
Not if you find a show the next night.
I like
We're going every night.
That's
Why do you think we do it every night?
I got a big empty
Just
void
little
here.
hair of the dog will
Like...
fix you right up.
That's fine. I actually haven't been to like a big concert in so long.
Is that one Target or Armory?
Target Center, yeah. Armory would be sick.
Yeah.
My buddy saw them at Armory. I'm jealous. It's a cool venue.
Target Center isn't bad for concerts.
I love it. It was the first venue I've ever been to. Like, I saw NSYNC there as a child, and I was like, this is incredible, you know? And then I saw Evanescence there when her, like, first album got big. She was touring that. It's like my first rock concert ever. I love Target Center.
Yeah.
You love Target Center. It's so funny being in audio. People complain about, like, the reverb of US Bank or Target Center, and it's like, what do you want them to do? Like,
right.
Like,
it's the people
I've actually really enjoyed anything I've seen in those big spaces, honestly.
There's been a couple at US Bank that have been questionable for me.
Sure.
But, I mean, Red Hot Chili Peppers, I thought they sounded great.
I was on the opposite side.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
I thought they were great. Metallica? Yeah. But,
sure.
You know.
I did see Metallica as well.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was Kristyn Leigh of M.A.Y with Cherry Wave.
Cherry dot wave.
Cherry dot wave.
That's okay.
Well, yeah.
Cherry wave, yeah. I like to say cherry dot wave. Again, my marketing could be better. I could have just named it the exact same song. I mean, I think it just went like triple platinum, and like,
yeah.
Of course, I had to be like, no, I got to make it harder for people to find and more obscure, and
that helps people find you. That helps differentiate.
True.
From someone who's done some search engine optimization, I can tell you. It does help.
Thank you.
It does help.
Yeah, so I do know what I'm doing.
You do. Yeah. You were telling us a little bit about this song off air. I don't know if you want to tell us about how when you were writing. Yeah.
Yeah. I was approached by Andy Sawhawk of Unstable Shapes. Shout out Andy. He's awesome. And that was like last fall. And Ben was like working on it for a long time, finally like set it all up, recorded vocals, sent it over. Okay, actually crazy engineering producer story. I learned how to back up my files better with that song. I was like mixing it, and I was pretty close, if not there already, but then I lost my session.
Oh no.
So the stereo mix is the mix. So I sent it to my mastering engineer at Flower Studio, Chris Paul Johnson. Shout out Chris Johnson.
Nice.
And he like AI split my stems, and like my mix is still my mix, but he brought some things forward and some things back. He actually scooted one vocal thing over a little bit. Amazing world we live in now. Kind of scary, kind of awesome. And that's what it was just like, it is what it is. Like, and then it also ended up being my own like summer breakup song. Just had a premonition.
It happens.
You know, like just like singing the lyrics, like, oh, this is a beautiful song. And then I listened to it after it's out and I'm like, oh, this is for me. So.
Made your own bed.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to totally shift gears to say happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for coming in on your birthday. I think that's amazing.
It's a great way for me to celebrate.
Yeah.
I don't have any other plans intentionally. And this was like my little, I'm going to go hang out.
Yeah.
Hang out. Yeah.
Now, are you someone who likes to reflect on your birthday? Or are you someone who's just, or just relax? Or
I'm in my sad girl era right now, so I'll probably have a little sad girl vibes going on. And I'm okay with that. There's something kind of beautiful.
There's nothing wrong with
about
it.
a sad girl. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure this year that'll be my vibe. And I'll be happy to be sad.
There you go.
I'm just gonna allow myself to feel all the existential dread and.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on in the world. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard for reasonable people right now.
Yeah. There's unreasonable things happening.
There are absolutely unreasonable things happening. Does that impact? I mean, that must impact your art and what you're gonna. But does that impact your passion for things? How does that affect your creativity?
Yeah, it's it goes hand in hand sometimes. There's a song that I wrote called "For All Mankind." It was my first single from my last album. That we can't play because there's a swear word in it, but I like wrote it and it was supposed to be about this like alien invasion and humankind's last stand. Super big, epic story. that's what the vibe I was feeling at the time. And I was watching like nuclear war videos and stuff and, you know, whatever. And
cheering yourself up.
You know, just normal things. And YouTube rabbit holes. And like the next day, literally the next day, Russia invaded Ukraine.
Jeez.
And then like, you know, everything that's happened in the Middle East since then, it just kind of keeps... I mean, that's not my song specifically. Any like war song is going to find those threads, but it was just like continuously finding new meaning behind it as time goes on. And I have some newer stuff that's not recorded, and it's like, I want to say it's hyper political. I'm not like naming names. I don't want it to be too like of this era, but it's obviously a huge inspiration. And it's almost like I'm almost upset about the obligation that like I'd rather write songs about something else, but here we are, and this is what I need to do to like digest it and, you know, give myself something to look forward to. So
well, and because I'm someone who plans a lot of the marches and stuff, which I do. I mean, I obviously enjoy doing that sort of thing. Except you're like, I'd rather be planning something fun.
Yeah, I went to that No Kings protest, and the vibe there was like voting. It was like, I gotta take time out of my day to go up in this thing, and it's beautiful and it's great, but like upset that I even had to do it.
That's it.
That I felt like I had to do it to begin with.
Well, and that was such a strange day with the assassination of the representatives.
Yeah.
and I worked with Wortman, and I gotta remember. Yeah. I mean, it was a weird, but it was so nice to have. It was so nice to have so many people there. So we did. I mean, we get there and we're not sure if we should call it off or not call it. But there was no calling it off. Thousands of people were already there. 2 hours before it's supposed to start.
I think that even goes to show, just like even more so, like despite being afraid and like that was the other thing. And like I know I'm not alone in that. Like people are still going to show up anyway, good, bad, or indifferent. Yeah. Like the obligation was so strong. That it's like, you know, and now I'm writing songs called like Sleeping Giants, and like, you know, writing a song called Good Company, where it's like, if you're gonna kill me for who I am, so be it. At least I'll be with good company for the people who came before me. And it's like heavy.
I'm like, that is a heavy song. That is. Yeah, that's where we are. Like, I guess if we're gonna have to go down swinging.
Well, I mean, like the last 2 weeks of Trump's campaign was like all like basically, like, made sure to include some sort of anti-trans like messaging, or using like the whole athlete debate as a way to like coax people's transphobia. I mean, it seems crystal clear to me, but. You know, whatever.
For all of the 22 people that it affects. I mean, that we're just like looking at the numbers and like, come on now.
Yeah. Like, and it worked, to be honest. Like, I think it actually was effective, which is why I was so upset.
Yeah, that one to me is so, because there's just nothing more inherently unfair than sports in the world.
Oh, right.
I mean,
genetic advantages.
That's it. I mean, that's it. I'm like,
what are we even talking about right now?
Yeah, Yeah. And it just, I mean, and there at a certain point, it's how many hours are you willing to put into this?
Right.
You know?
Right.
I mean, I'm never going to be, but yeah.
Like, is there a perfect system in place with our modern world? Like, maybe not, but does that mean that, like, there's a big scary entity coming for your, traditional family? Like, that's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So
disguised as someone with a lot of makeup reading to your child at the library, if that's who's coming, bring them in. We need more of that stuff for sure.
Yeah. If anything, it makes me more like courageous. Like, I am gonna own my space even more. I am gonna like dress up even more. I'm going to embrace that as much as I can, and if it puts somebody off, then good. Makes me happy.
Yeah. Well, and I think people also just have to get used to it. I mean, that's kind of like
welcome to the future where people are honest with themselves.
Yeah.
How dare we be honest with ourselves and do something about it?
Right. Well, exactly. I mean,
It's generational. It's a new generation where we're not bottling up our stuff and we're like actually embracing issues. And sometimes there's like a lot of categorical stuff going on, and there's a lot of like, obviously there are extremes, but like at the end of the day, that's a net positive for everybody.
Yes.
As far as I'm concerned. So.
Yes. I mean, back in the day, it was seeing women in the workforce. I mean, every era has something that's different.
It wasn't that long ago either.
No, it was not. It was not, and the pay is still not equal. But but it's just get used to it.
We take for granted this place that we're in right now, and people act like, well, it was like 50 years ago.
Yeah,
it was like not that long of a time. I'm 36 today. That's like I'm more than half of that time. Whatever. Anyway.
My mom will talk about how we actually...
It's nonstop.
Yeah. We actually testified at the Minnesota legislature for the Equal Rights Amendment. When she was married, she couldn't get a credit card. She had a full-time job, but she needed my dad to sign off on the credit card.
Yeah.
I mean, that...
And that was like the 80s, 70s, or like...
70s.
Because I know, like, they didn't actually change that law 60s. Federally until the 80s.
Yeah, 60s. Yeah, it was... So now I think about it, it would have been, mid-60s.
Right.
That she needed...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No.
It's crazy.
Snail's pace, but we're moving forward.
We're
just in a hard part time now where
the fight is never over. It was such a cliche statement, but, like, that's the point. It's like things can go back. As like it can go forward or it can go back. It's one or the other, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. I'm so ready to dive in, but I won't. Yeah. I mean,
it's inspiring artistically, at least. It gives me a lot of frustration, and it gives me, I want to. There's a new song I'm doing called Citizen, where like I don't even sing. I'm just like rehearsing some lines in front of people, and it's kind of like this like weird patriotic commercial that's like coded in resistance, and it's like this weird, it's intentionally unsettling, and I
I'm just so excited
try to embrace those things, and like yeah,
I think that is, I mean, it must be cathartic for you to do it, but it's cathartic for some people to hear it, and
yeah.
And for the people that it's not so cathartic, but maybe more jarring, get used to it. Here's a way. Here's a little.
Yeah, this is art.
As heavy as this is,
like,
here's a little bit of sugar on the message.
Absolutely.
And so take it in this way. Take it into a different way. And that's where I think the role of art is so important right now. Music, art, any kind of cultural. Yeah.
Yeah. I almost embrace, like, I want to buy, like, a dolly and strap my gear to it, and I almost want to go into more, like, uninvited areas and make noise and do those things, because it goes to more performance art in that way, but at the same time, like, the intention is to be a little disturbing of the piece, be a little, like, unsettling, make you feel something, make you think about things, and that's, yeah. The performance is endlessly inspiring to me.
I will be your roadie. I mean, I'd be totally useless, but I could probably carry something.
We'll find something to help out.
We'll just roll up on the street.
We'll run up and get water for you, whatever. I think that would be
Spray
amazing.
You with a hose. Yeah. You're like, keep me cool.
It's part of the art. Don't worry about it. Yeah. But that is an amazing idea. Because then I'm like, where would you go?
And it's like all part of like the catharsis of like sharing that with people who I know feel the same way. Yeah. And even with people who I know are like not on the same political spectrum, but they're upset at just the way things are. You know? Like, I would rather try to find a common ground.
Absolutely.
With that, to be honest.
Yeah, because finding a common ground, I think, is the best and the safest way to try to do things.
I mean, like, not that I agree with any, like, certain things, but at the same time, like, it's really, I think we're all feel like we're getting screwed over equally in a way. Yeah. Or at least the majority of us.
Unless you get billions behind you, I think that's kind of how you feel, because that's how it is.
Yeah.
So it's...
Yeah, it's a corporate world we live in.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Now my mind is just racing of where could you go? What could you... Well, we're sitting on a college campus.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of places. The Greenway, you could...
I mean, yeah, a big part of my name, like, Midwest American Youth, is that, like, yeah, it's always going to be on them. I mean, that's not, like, the only reason why that's called that, but, like, it's an inspiring thought of, like, at the end of the day, it is kind of always on the younger generation to figure out what that's going to be. Yeah. You know? Like, yeah.
Well, and I think, one of the weird things to come out of COVID is I think people learned how to play in unique places that they hadn't had to do before.
I agree.
You know, so and maybe that's one of the weird lessons we had to learn to prepare for today.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we all learned a lot about our government and the corporations within with COVID. We all learned a lot.
Yeah. You said that's not the only reason for the name Midwest American Youth. Tell us more about that.
Well, it's obviously where I'm from. Like growing up in Green Bay, being born in Minnesota, always back and forth between the two states. And a lot of me and a lot of my friends were like, as we got to teenagers, we were like, okay, we got to get out of the Midwest. There was this like drive of like, this place is boring, whatever.
Fly over,
yeah. And that experience, you know, as soon as I moved to LA or like even Bakersfield and was visiting LA, it was like, no, I love Green Bay. That's like such a unique culture and small town feel, and I was really proud of it. But growing up there, I was like, I hate this place. I need to get out of here. Nobody cares about original music here, which has gotten a lot better in that area. Yeah, it's just such a unique perspective on the world. And, you know, to be fair, I haven't actually even shared this with many people. I also like came out to myself May of 2015, and that was almost like a second birthday to me.
Yeah.
And that was a big part of that meaning as well. Was
nice.
Like doing the best for me and starting that journey.
Yeah.
So
yeah, 10 years.
10 years now.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
Happy
10 years
birthday.
ago, I had just rolled into Bakersfield, like 3 days prior. And yeah, it's been the best 10 years of my life.
That's awesome.
Quite honestly, you know, challenging as well.
Oh, I can only imagine that, yeah.
And, you know, I've certainly not lost on me that I have, like, supportive parents and I have, like, a great support team. And it just goes to show how important that stuff is. I wouldn't be where I am today without those things. It's not lost on me, to be honest.
Well, shout out to
Mom and Dad.
Shout out to Mom and Dad, absolutely.
You know, making
shout
me and my mom birthing me today, 36 years ago, 1989. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. The mom in me always is like, I know who should be celebrating on birthdays. The one who remembers it. But
for real.
Yes. And also, we say thank you to her.
Yeah.
For giving us you.
Yeah, definitely. She might be listening right now.
Well, we can save it. You can hear that.
Love you, Mama.
Yeah. There you go. Well, congratulations. I just think that's...
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big deal to me. It was like, I'm going to be honest to myself. That means to me that I have to make these big changes. But it also meant a lot of inside work as well. And a lot of it was like, if I'm going to move to California, I'm also going to not just set myself up for success when I'm alone and when I'm around people, but also like in my job and like pursuing both things at the same time. And I've heard that's inspiring to other people now that when I meet them and they see what I do and they hear my story. And like, ultimately, that's my biggest goal is like, hey, if you would have shown me 10 years ago of what, not just who I am now, but what I'm doing and the friends and the community and all these things, I would have been so much more excited about it, to be honest. So, you know, life is truly what you make of it. And it's a wild, wild ride. Just a ride.
And that's so true. It's what you make of it.
It is.
I mean, you know, some people are throwing bigger curveballs than others. You know, you know, the flood that just happened in Texas. That's you know, for the people who were there, that it may have been predictable in other ways, but you know what I mean. So, but it's it's what you make it.
Yeah, and tragedy is going to shape us regardless, and you know, we can have a hand in that as well. And you know, so. Yeah, it gets like philosophical.
I know.
It gets, you know, pretty high concept stuff, but like, you know, yeah, it's important to share. It's I want people to feel more empowered, you know. I think like as an aside, it's like a good example. My buddy was playing a show and she plays bass and it was just her and her drummer and the audio engineer at that show was like, hey, I'll just get you into mains, no big deal. And she was upset because she just didn't have enough stage volume. And she talked to me about it afterwards, and I'm like, well, I think like advocating for yourself is just the lesson, and like knowing to like, and I think that's like a shared, that's like a small example of like just like helping to empower some people.
Yes.
That like if I'm up on stage, I'm not unreasonable, but I'm not gonna just let somebody else control the narrative of my art and what I know it has to be. And it's hard to do that sometimes, and that's like just a small example, like I said, of just like advocating for yourself in music as a woman, whatever. Like it's little things like that. It's helpful to know that I'm helping others in ways, you know. Ultimately, and trust me, they're helping me as well. It was not a one-way thing. They're very helping me. Shout out Valerie. I love you, Valerie.
Well, sometimes when you hear yourself say something to someone, you have to hear it in yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like, all right, now I gotta step up and
now I have to advocate
do what I
for
say.
myself
Darn
too.
it. Yeah. Which is a good thing, but I think women cannot hear that enough.
Yeah, you know, next time you're at a show and, you know, I mean, if your amp is hurting people's ears, obviously you should probably pull back the highs or whatever. But like ultimately, like, do your art. I showed up at a show one time with a subwoofer. They didn't have one. And the guy was like, oh, we don't need one of those. It's fine. And I'm just like, hey, I'm going to use it. I'm just letting you know. I'm going to use it. Like, this is my art and I know I need it and you don't have one, so I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
And that was that. And then he tried to apologize, like, keyword try.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hey, communication is fragile. Like, you chose your words. I chose mine. You know? And it's not easy.
No.
And it's not comfortable. And I didn't enjoy the experience, but I'm happy. I was just like, oh, no worries. Like,
yeah.
It does matter. If you're up there pouring your heart out, like, you need to know.
And like you said, it's your art, not theirs.
It's your art.
It sounds a certain way for you because that's the way you made it. So no, I really like
Bring the thing. There's nothing practical about anything live music. It's all completely unpractical. So bring the thing, do the thing. Like, practice with it ahead of time. Don't throw all the work on the engineer. Like, try to figure it out a little bit before. But, like, bring the thing. Do the thing. Make it your own experience that's unique. And, you know, advocate for yourself, you know?
Well, and in some ways, any kind of art is a little bit about being impractical. It's taking the time to do the messages that you want. You know, you're leaving that aside. You're leaving that aside. You know,
you're going out of your way to make this the priority when there's like more practical things you could be doing, quote unquote. But that's the whole point. Yeah. You know, is like, I am going to put aside the time and dedicate it to this, all for the sake of a, 30-minute, 40-minute performance, you know?
And your performances are amazing. I mean, if you want it to be easy, you could do covers.
I might make some money if I do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it, you know. I mean, I kind of laugh about it. And there's no shade to people who want to do covers.
No.
And some people do very creative tributes, too. Yeah. I mean, if you wanted perfection, get a voice like Barbra Streisand and learn how to, you know what, like, but not everybody wants to hear Barbra Streisand every day. Right. You know, hearing something new, I think, is so valuable.
Right. I think when people walk into a bar and they don't know a band, they want to like you so much. They want you to be the band that they're like, I just walked in. They want to tell that story so bad that if you just meet them halfway, they'll fill in the blanks anyway and do it. You know what I mean? Like, they want to badly. So...
And some people who see music all the time, we are all down for the train wreck. Or you see something, and you're like, I have never heard them do that way. You find out we did it that way because all of the strings broke on the guitar. You're like, well, way to champion. It's an experience, and that way, live music particularly is an experience. Yeah,
it is. I'm very passionate about that experience. I think that is like all the music stuff and time that I spent, and all of it is like that live experience for me is the passion that I have. Like, I want people to be on the edge of their seat, not knowing what's going to happen next, excited for what's going to happen next, kind of scared, kind of happy, like all the things. And
now in my head still thinking, where stealthily can you play? But I'm also thinking, speaking of music, shall we play another song?
Yeah, I can do a song. I'll do, I think I owe it to do the title track of my record I put out last year. I did an album called Our Galaxy. Yeah. And the title track, I would love to play. That album was mixed by Sylvia Massey, who did like System of a Down and Johnny Cash and Tool, and she agreed to mix my record, and I spent a year paying them to do it, and it's done, and it happened, and so the album, what was that?
Worth every penny?
Worth every penny. She put my soul on display in ways that I would never have been able to be. I wouldn't have been brave enough. And yeah, it's super special. Yeah, they don't have to say yes to anybody, you know? So
right.
If I went in debt for a year to pay them, it was worth it. And it was a huge learning experience. And that album is more hers than it is mine at this point. She was the only collaborator I had on it, other than myself. So I handed it off. I let her make a bunch of decisions and only had a couple tweaks that meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like what she did, that's her album. And the live performance is mine. And that's the relationship I have with it. So.
That's... All right.
This song is called Our Galaxy.
By M.A.Y. Awesome. Yeah, what is it?
Blah, 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 blah.
No, I hope that you're okay with that, because this is kind of how it goes. You know, you just start talking
great.
And then, yeah.
I'm going to run to the bathroom because this is a longer song. So
Okay.
I will be back.
Yeah, we got time.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it said this is the time to play the... This is the show to play the longer songs, because we're okay with it.
It's the Facebook world.
It would be fun to think of different places where you can... I mean, I'm just trying to think of where it would be.
To do...
To just, yeah.
Oh, to roll up with equipment and just...
Just a little pop-up, like...
Oh, yeah. I want to go to, like... Gosh, I don't know. The idea is, like, if I end up booking a tour, I could, like, show up on a street earlier that day.
Oh, just, like,
to try to
do some busking?
Yeah. Yeah. 15-minute thing, and then do the whole real thing. But... Like, part of me was like, I'm just gonna do it on the steps of the Capitol, but I would get detained and, like, charged, I'm sure, and, like, you know, I'm sure there's, like, ways to get,
You need a permit.
Permits.
I can tell you all the ways you need a permit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even with a permit, they don't like the music inside.
Right.
But outside...
Well, even outside on the steps, or, like, in front of the steps or something, like... Just for myself, like there could be nobody there. And
I think you can do it. That I mean, don't trust me on this one, but I think you could, because you get a lot of people who just go there, one person, and they're very often they're pro-birthers, and they stand up there and they chat for out. You know. I
wonder if it's like if I like brought speakers suddenly that like changes the, because I would have to bring my own power as well.
Yeah.
And then, like...
well, after the No Kings, we're cleaning up everything.
Yeah.
And there's still some... The small sound system was there. Someone had a smaller sound system than the bigger. And we were getting... we weren't getting annoyed. We were getting tired. Because we've been hours and hours of phone calls all week. But there's a group that's just dancing the whole time. And now people are watching, because also there were some... red hats there that were trying to get in the mix, but
right.
But the security was like that. Well, yeah. I mean, it's the old whose house, our house.
Exactly. Yeah. That was like the most obvious choice, but I mean the thought of like just like rolling up literally on a street corner.
Yeah.
And just doing it, you know, or like, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a lot of like walking areas.
Yeah.
Not so much like for busking, but like kind of like where it's like you wouldn't expect there to be a live performance, and suddenly there is. You know.
Well, they do the Greenway Glow, but during COVID I saw a couple shows on the Greenway, just under a bridge.
Okay.
And that was very fun. It was very fun because it was the first live music I'd seen in a couple months. You know,
at that point, yeah. You're like, give it to me.
But the acoustics were awesome. I mean, I don't know if that's the right place, but I'm trying to think of like that kind of.
Right. Yeah. It's and then I still have to like put together like a rig on a dolly to do that.
Yeah.
There's money, blah 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 blah, and all these things.
I always think that in the by the side of the walker, and they've got the exhibit you can walk into. I always thought that would be a good place.
Oh sure, yeah. Yeah,
but that wouldn't be a place where people would walk by and see you. I don't even know if they'd walk by and hear you because of the way that's set up.
I mean, part of me almost wants to like get kicked out somewhere, to be honest. Like legitimately like break the rules.
Yeah.
And someone's gonna get upset by it, and it's like, this is not against you, but I'm just I have to do this. And it's gonna be annoying for a little bit, and we're gonna get through it.
Well, you know where with the governor's residence, because all of a sudden I'm there every Monday for the Pipeline Blues anyway. With Women Military Madness and Vets for Peace, and after the assassination of Hortman and her husband, they are trying to ask us not to go there. But like, we've been doing this for years. Also,
that's ridiculous.
No.
Yeah.
Because you just, no.
Yeah. No.
We are not obstreperous. They sing a song at the end. I mean, it's very like, this is.
Yeah. We're gonna do it. Like, yeah.
Oh, it's 3:41. I just checked that so that Allison it isn't. Time.
I'm trying to think if there's like another song.
Yeah, we can follow this up with.
I think Siren. If I do play one more.
Okay.
Siren means a lot to me.
Do you want to just flow directly from this one into Siren?
Sure.
Or do you want to take a break between and introduce Siren?
We can play it right after.
Okay, and then talk about it after.
Yeah, let's do that.
Then I have a little sip of my.
Let's give ourselves a little break here.
Sounds good.
We've been working hard, folks.
I just came in here to play. I should have just played all my music and gave you guys an hour break.
Some days. Take it. It hasn't gotten any hotter. I feel like it's maybe even a little more.
At least it's better than last weekend when we had 4 people in here.
Oh yeah, that was.
I keep turning in my chair and I feel a little breeze each time. So I'm kind of playing a little bit.
Flip my chair for a second.
Gosh, I played 331 last Saturday, and the 5th, and the last 4 songs I like set my guitar down and I just had a microphone in my hands. It was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable. I was like, I'm naked right now. It was like my emotional support guitar.
Yeah.
Like, I've done those songs without guitar, but I like had it strapped on at least and like had something to grab onto or throw it behind, whatever, and I like forced myself to just stand there.
That has to be weird.
It was
for you. I mean, not for, but yeah.
It was odd. Apparently, it wasn't that awkward for the audience.
No.
But
it
I felt awkward. Like, what do I do? And
But it feels like all of a sudden you're trying to do stuff with your other hand. Like just. What do I do with this one now? Like,
and just forcing myself to like. I love guitar, and I know people love hearing me play guitar, but I don't consider myself that much of a guitarist these days. Like, I love writing songs, and I love having a story, and like the sum of all parts, not just about guitars, so I'm like forcing myself to do that. And to also, sorry, what?
I just said good for you. That's
and to also legitimize like singing to a track as a performance art, as an art. Like, there's nothing wrong with just having a track playing and having your vocals be your vocals live, and that's your art.
There is if there's a band behind you.
Well, I mean, like, even then, I think it's all context, and you're allowed to have personal preference.
Right.
Absolutely, you're allowed to have personal preference. But like, for people to say like they're not a real band or blah 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 blah, it's like, go play to a click, go set up your tracks, you try it.
Right.
You set up your DAW and set up your tracks that you can trigger live and everything hits at the same time and all these things, and tell me that that's not effort and it's not art and like whatever. Now if you're just like, I don't know, just like pulling a YouTube song with no lyrics, and then like, okay, you're kind of lazy, But if it's your music, then you made it, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's the bands that go up, play the tracks, and they're not actually playing. That's where I...
Well, like, even drummers have triggers these days. So, like, they're playing an acoustic kit, but what you're hearing in front of house is just samples. Yeah. It's just sampled drum sounds anyway. So it's, like, almost a little bit performative to just have the drummer up there anyway, which is cool. But I like to embrace, like, no, there isn't a drummer.
Right.
There isn't a bassist.
Yeah.
I think I prefer that. Show me what it actually is. And like with you, it's all your hard work and it's you. Right. It's not a band. Don't have a studio band come in and perform with you. Do what you did.
Yeah. I just hate the old head idea of like, just being like anti-modern. I feel like it just comes off as like, it's not real music unless there's like a guitarist or whatever. Like people are like, rap isn't real music. It's just coded for a lot of prejudice that they have.
100%.
They just like can't get over themselves, you know? So yeah, if I'm up there with his tracks and vocals, like, and I can call myself an artist, you know, like everybody else can do that too.
Yeah.
Like, there's room for everybody to get in here and do the music they want to do however they can do it. You know? And sometimes it's a money issue. Like, all I can do is play a track from my phone and sing over it because I can't afford the equipment to do it elsewhere. Or, like, hire people to come play because they won't do it for a favor or, like, whatever. It's, like, it's empowering more than anything, you know? Like, write a beat on GarageBand, mix it, send it out as a song, play it off your phone with a dongle, and sing over it, and I bet people are still gonna love it just as much as they love the live band.
Yeah, because it's still authentic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's the key.
Yeah.
It's like you're still just being an artist.
I think there are some bands that kind of get lost in that aspect where it's no longer authentic. But if you're doing all that and you're playing a track and singing, it's all you.
It's still your art. Yeah. Definitely. That's my hot take of the day.
There you go. Well, and I think to be able to do it well, I mean, I've seen people do it really well, and I've seen people not do it really, where
it is hard.
Where you're like, okay, well, and it takes a lot of learning, and I have room for the learning and stuff too. But some people are like, I don't think you're ever going to be that technical. I think you better get that. I mean, it just, know.
Yeah. It usually ends up being a lot of experimentation, and a lot of people will like mix their song, but then they'll play it on a large system. And it's not quite the mix that they thought. And as an audio engineer in those situations, I'll EQ it because I want the experience to be well. But there's some audio engineers who are like, nope, that's their mix.
That's what they gave me on the
that's the grave they're digging themselves in, and there's a different take of philosophy with that. Yeah. Which is like neither one is wrong. You want to be a neutral party, and sometimes I'm not a neutral party. I will be the producer, sit there and play with things and stuff. But, there's only one way to find out. You play through a loud system and then you're like, oh, that's different,
Yeah.
So it's hard to mix for a large sound system without having one.
That's exactly. You can't experiment in your bedroom what happens.
Yeah. Sounds great in the headphones. Yeah. And then you play it and you're like, oh, I'm like burning my subs out, or my highs are like way too bright and blah, 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 So... it's hard. It's not easy to make it work and sound like passable, and but there's only one way to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm an enabler of like all things music. Like if your instrument is your phone and a dongle, you're a musician. Darn it!
Great. Yeah. Well, and I think people transitioning from the DIY. No, I think it's great. And just like anything, some of it's going to be good and some of it's going to be bad. I mean, that's true with cooking, that's true with anything,
And some are just more fully formed, and some aren't,
But some aren't meant to be either.
Exactly.
I mean, going back to the noise scene that I've somehow stumbled upon and talking to Seer, what is it? If it's art to you, it's art. If it's music to you, it's music.
Yeah.
Or sound.
Yeah. Cracking down on,
write a lot of noise reviews. Sounds like a whale died. And I love noise, but you try to compare to.
But I feel like that's a scene where you have all the old fuddy-duddies who are like, that's nothing. No, it's something to someone.
It is something.
And that's all that matters.
You don't have to like it, dude.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, half the stuff I review is... Alright,
I can't. Yep.
And that was Siren from M.A.Y, who we have in studio right now.
Hello.
Hello.
So we just kind of went straight from Our Galaxy, the title track, to that one. Do you want to tell us a little bit about
Siren? Yeah, Siren was a song I had a couple of these songs written before I had gotten my rehearsal studio and was like starting this project. Siren was something that I wrote. It was the first song I wrote like in that rehearsal space. And at first I'm like, the first verse and second verse, it's about people dying in tragedies, which is like, okay, dramatic. But like, I think I've come to learn that it's just about fear. It's about being afraid. Like that song is supposed to sound like what fear sounds like. And it's probably the hardest track I have, like the heaviest. It's not quite metal. It kind of bumps up against metal. But it means a lot to me. I love that song. There's a part where I sing like, we're gonna die, aren't we? I can't describe the feeling. Why should we endure the suffering? And it's just like, that's how I feel about it, you know? Yeah. I can never just write about like, you know,
rainbows
like,
and butterflies. Can
yeah,
we try that maybe? I don't know.
You know, like an ex or something. It's always like this big existential groupthink, trying to find this common denominator of the human experience.
But I think that fits with the depth of the music.
Yeah.
I don't think you couldn't write about rainbows and unicorns. It wouldn't fit.
It's not going to fit.
No, not at all.
The music it elicits those types of feelings. Yeah.
But it makes me wonder, how do you come to the table to write a song? Has it been germinating in your head? Do you have an emotion? Do you have a...
Usually it's just like the feeling of like, I'm inspired and I need to be around instruments and I need to figure out what to do with this thing. Or I need to just pick up an acoustic guitar or like sit at a piano. It's not really the same twice. It's creepy sometimes, the way songs are written. Like some of my songs I like have a relationship with, but it's like almost like it wasn't me. I was just this conduit for that moment that ended up being the one that captured it. You know, I'm like a sweet, sugary, sweet person in my normal day-to-day life. But then I get on stage and I'm like, you know, talking about death and war and like the end of the world and like, you know, being romantically intimate in space with like gods and, you know, just like, it's weird. And I know I've had this conversation a lot with a lot of artists. It's like, my buddy Charlie from Crash Cuddle, who I share a studio with, he was like, well, we're musicians. Like, we're like channeling that muse. That's like our job. And it's like a little paranormal, it feels sometimes, honestly. It's creepy.
Yeah, well, yeah. My question would be, are you always ready to receive that? Or are there times where like, not today, Satan. You know, I know.
Well, I light my candles and then I draw my chalk. Like last night I actually spent a lot of time in my rehearsal space and it's been a while that I've just been creative. It wasn't just like to rehearse for a show. Up until last night, I've had this feeling, but I was like, not yet. I've had a lot of personal life stuff going on. And I just wasn't ready to like explore what that is yet. And last night I did, and it felt great, and nothing super concrete came from it, but like, it's not that nothing came from it either. It was still like a very worthwhile endeavor. I mean, it's therapy, and it ends up being a therapy that I perform for other people.
Yeah. And
like share with others. So it's like super personal. But that's how I do it, is like I try not to force it, but you do have to, you know, if I think of all the times, how much time was spent being open to a song, it was probably like not that much time total. So I should probably open myself up to it more, to just be open to it. But you gotta have an instrument in front of you. You gotta have a microphone in front of you. You gotta be like kind of ready to like take it and save it somehow so you can reference it later. And yeah, it's different every time.
Well, and I would think they're just coming to the table before you're ready to would turn out a very different song. And who knows if it would be better or different, or you know, spin off two projects. But it, you know,
Yeah, and sometimes it's songs that don't fit what I think would be a May song, and sometimes it's just more singer-songwritery or like whatever. But like whatever it is, you know, so be it. Yeah, it's hard to say. I try not to force it, but I also don't want to procrastinate either.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, to know when you're, and I suppose sometimes it's just not, you know, I got to get on the train. You've got to do something. Exactly. And that's how we all kind of live. But there have got to be times where you're like, I want to finish my book, or you know, it's just something very different.
I've been avoiding it for about a month or a month and a half, like trying to write anything, and knowing that I need to. And last night was like, okay, I think I'm actually ready to like experiment and explore and see what else might come or what else I have to say, because you don't know. Like, no. That's the thing, is like you go into it not knowing, and the surprise is maybe that's the drug, is like the dopamine of like, oh, this is surprising, how did I get here, you know? It's exciting.
It's amazing. I'm looking a little bit at the clock now, because I also want to give you an opportunity to say how people can find you and where some of your upcoming shows.
Yeah. I do have a website. It's called MidwestAmericanYouth.com. It's very simple. You can go listen to my music, go see what my next shows are. You can buy a shirt or a hoodie, or look at some of the press that I've done, because that's like the right thing to do. And it is, but yeah, whatever. And it's like a business card, you know? Yeah. But that's the best place. You can find all the links to listen, stream music, buy music, whatever, and see what I have going on with this project. And my next show at Utapils is July 25th.
Yeah.
And the reason why I was in the studio is because I have to fill 2 hours at that show.
Oh, wow.
So, like, full disclosure, I don't even know how I'm going to do that all yet. But I'm going to write some stuff. I'm going to try to put together some sort of live experience and make it interesting and fun and entertain a crowd for 2 hours, or make them walk away. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
It's a long way from St. Paul, but now I'm a little tempted.
I'll pick you up.
Yeah, it's going to be in the beer garden. It'll be outside.
And Utapils is a great place for me.
I love
it. Yeah, it really is.
Yes.
It is.
They were very kind to me.
Nice.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be, You are good at challenging yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, with 2 hours that you got to fill with, just so many things. Yeah.
I don't know if I, love stress. I don't know what it is. I think there's something about it that I do actually enjoy, is having a deadline and having a make or break situation. Yeah. I don't know. I just love it. And then I also kick myself for it. So
I'm a firm believer in the right kind of stress that pushes you to do stuff. There's a great TED Talk about that too. But it's, it's because I like the stress of having to get something done too. I'm not a last minute person at all. I live with someone who I love, who I gave birth to, who's a little more of a last minute person. I'm like, this wouldn't be an emergency if you'd have done it 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I do like to challenge myself by doing something that maybe scares me a little bit. And that's the stuff that you're doing. It's just very interesting things and very...
It's very pure to my art. It's I have to challenge myself as an artist. And that's what it comes down to, is that's the only way to find out where you're going. So...
That's fantastic. All right, that takes us to 4:00.
Right at 4. Here we are. We could keep on talking to you.
I know. Yeah. I've been hanging out with you guys.
I know. This has been fantastic.
Yes.
Kristyn, thank you so much for coming.
Good to see you. Good to see you yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Or was it yesterday?
Yesterday, the day
before. Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I appreciate it.
I'm going to thank folks for listening to Mostly Minnesota Music and WMCN 91.7 FM on the beautiful McAllister College campus in St. Paul. I'm Ann, and you want to tell folks where they can find you?
I'm Langan, a.k.a. Girl at the Rock Shows. Follow me at girlattherockshows.com.
We're going right to Autotron there.
Sorry to rush it at the end. I didn't see the time, and then...
We're good.
Okay.
We're good. That was